Hey guys, I'm Sandra the Vlogger, and today we're going to be trying a recipe that I've been dying to make. Seen it on Pinterest for years now and made a million different ways, but today I'm going to finally try this. It is called lasagna roll-ups. There are so many different ways that you can make this. I've seen 100 different recipes on Pinterest. People doing vegetarian, chicken, ground beef. I mean, there's just endless possibilities in how you can make lasagna. This is pretty much exactly how you make lasagna, except you're gonna roll it inside of the pasta so that you have individual slices, and it makes it easier when you serve, so that when you make lasagna, you have everything layered. So when you cut it open, it just it can sometimes fall apart if you don't have it done right. So this is easy. It's gonna be just completely rolled inside of the pasta. You can just easily just scoop it out and you're done. No mess. I've put all of the ingredients and all of the descriptions down below of the recipe I'm going to be making today. I've seen ideas on Pinterest, but I'm going to go ahead and just make this kind of my own. And I'm going to be using ground turkey and Italian sausage. I'm going to be using a red sauce, and I'm using the Emerald's tomato and basil sauce. So we're going to give it a try, and I will let you guys watch as I make that. So let's go. So first we're going to start off with browning the ground turkey, and this is just a regular actually, you know what? I just realized I got Italian seasoned ground turkey, and you can use pretty much any kind of ground turkey that you like. I just happened to see this one at Walmart. This is a pound of ground turkey. Maybe too much, but if it is, I'll just refrigerate it and use it tomorrow for a different something else. And this is just regular Italian sausage, pork, and you just take it out of the casing. You don't want to eat that. And I have just 2 wings here. Okay, let me wash my hands. And then I'm going to go ahead and put this on about medium to medium-high heat. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and season the meat with a little bit of ground garlic powder. You can also add fresh garlic, but I don't think I have any right now, so I'm just going to use garlic powder. And then also a little bit of onion powder. This is the lazy way. I don't feel like chopping up onions and garlic, but I really don't think I have garlic, but I don't feel like chopping onion. Just being lazy. And then also a little bit of Italian seasoning. Both of these are already seasoned with Italian seasoning, because this is Italian turkey and Italian sausage. But I just want to add a little bit extra because I love Italian seasoning. Then also some black pepper and some salt. And I'm using sea salt. But you can use any kind of salt you like. Okay. Just mix those all together. Let it continue to cook down. So I'm going to show you what I do with my pasta. The way that I like to do this is I use chopsticks, because I'm afraid that if I use any tongs or a fork, it might rip through the pasta. So what I do is I get these 2 chopsticks and I lay them onto a cookie sheet lined with plastic wrap. And what I do is I lay them out, spray them with a little Pam. You can also use just regular vegetable oil or some butter. But that seems to be pretty easy when you just get to spray it. Then I put a little bit of plastic wrap between each layer so that they don't stick to one another. Like that. And then I lay down the next layer of pasta. And that way it's ready for me whenever I need it to roll the ingredients inside of it. If you leave it in the water, they will start to soften up too much and start to tear. And actually I'm about to tear this one on accident, but that's okay, we'll still use it. Just be careful when you're pulling them out that you don't rip the pasta. That one was already ripped up. little hot. You gotta be careful. I'm gonna spray it. And then all my pasta sheets are ready for me whenever I'm ready to roll them. Okay, so my turkey and pork is now fully cooked. I'm gonna go ahead and turn the heat off and just let it cool slightly so that we can go ahead and add the rest of the ingredients into a bowl and start to put this lasagna together. I decided last minute that I want to add a little bit more flavor to my meat. So I'm gonna pour in maybe about 2 tablespoons of my pasta sauce, just so that it can add a little bit more flavor once it's rolled up inside of the lasagna roll. I just wanted to add just a little bit of sauce. Okay, so I have all of my ingredients here. I have some low-fat cottage cheese. Also have some grated cheese. This is a Parmesan, Romano, and Asiago 3-cheese blend. Some Italian shredded cheese. My emerald tomato and basil sauce that I told you about earlier. 1 egg. The meat that we just ground, which is the ground turkey and pork Italian sausage. My pasta, a bowl for all of these ingredients right here with the egg, and then also my pan that I'm going to put my lasagna in. I made my own little edge right here because I didn't want to make an entire pan. It's just for the 2 of us. So I just kind of made this so that it doesn't like flow out into the rest of the pan. I didn't have a pan that size. Like I said, we're getting ready to move, so I don't have a lot of my kitchen utensils, so I just had to use that, and I think it'll work just fine. So let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so we're gonna start with about half of the cottage cheese. If I need more, I'll just add more later. This is a 24 ounce, so we're gonna use about 12 ounces of cottage cheese. And then we're gonna add about a 1/4 cup of this 3-cheese blend. You can also just use regular grated Parmesan cheese. So about 1/4 of a cup. I'm just gonna kind of eyeball this. Let's say this is about 1/4 of a cup, maybe a little bit more. Just kind of break these pieces up. You don't want to make it too salty. This cheese sometimes tends to be a little too salty. Now we're going to go ahead and add the Italian style shredded cheese. And I'm going to add about a good 3 palmfuls. I would say I'm probably going to end up using about 1.5 cups. Don't be shy with that. And now we're going to add in 1 egg. And this is just to bind everything together. Just follow that. Cheese fall out. And then I'm going to add in a little bit of Italian seasoning. Sorry guys, we got cut off. Unfortunately, I didn't show y'all when I added the pepper and made my first roll. My battery went dead, so we're gonna go ahead and get started again, and I'll show you how I made the first one. You just get your pasta and add in just a little bit of the cheese mixture, and you want to make sure that you leave a little bit of space on both of the ends so that it doesn't seep out, and they need to kind of like stick to each other as well. So you don't want to overdo it with the cheese mixture and the meat mixture. Alright, so now you're going to add in your meat. And again, don't add too much because you want to be able to fit everything once you roll. You don't want it all falling out. And I kind of make sure that I leave it towards the middle so that it doesn't fall out. I'm going to press it down. Okay, so now you just roll everything up. Like that. And then you want to put it in the pan, seam side down so that it doesn't open up and fall apart. Alright, so we'll continue on with our next one. And you see how easy it is once you leave the pasta inside of these plastics. It stays nice and soft, it doesn't dry out. It's easy to just grab it when you're ready instead of sitting there leaving it in the water. You don't have to rush. It's just really easy prep work and something you can do. And especially whenever you're making a bunch for a larger family and you have a lot of pasta, it can easily dry up really quickly. So again, seam side down. can also use ricotta cheese if you wanted, but I love cottage cheese. I'm sure Joe can't wait till he gets home. I'm sure he's going to be so excited to see what I made. He loves lasagna. I also have my oven already preheating at I put it on 375. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and pour the sauce all over the pastas, the pasta rolls. Joe finally came home and he looked very hungry. You ready to eat, Joe? And I forgot to put a little bit of sauce on the bottom of the pan, so what I did is I lifted up each pasta and poured a little bit on the bottom. And you want to do this because it can sometimes stick to the pan, or in my case I have foil. So I just pour just a little bit of sauce underneath each one. So we're going to pour about, I'm just going to go ahead and pour about the whole thing because it is delicious. And now we're going to top it with a little bit more of the shredded cheese. Doesn't that look so good? And I'm so hungry. I have not eaten today. I didn't eat for this very reason because I knew I was going to have this for dinner. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and put this in the oven and let it bake for about 20 minutes. Here's the finished product. Doesn't it look so delicious? I also forgot to mention that you needed to wrap it in foil. If you don't, the cheese will burn and dry up, and then bake it for 20 to 25 minutes at 350 degrees Fahrenheit. Whenever you scoop it out, it comes out perfectly. It doesn't fall apart. It's an individual serving, so you don't even have to worry about cutting it up. I'm about to give it a try and see what it tastes like. So yummy. All right. It is really good. Okay, Joe, you need to come try this because this is delicious. All right, I'll see you guys later. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thumbs up if you did. Don't forget to comment below. If you have any recipes that you want me to try or any other video suggestions that you have, put it in the comments below, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.